We have someone special to visit. His name is Floki.
Floki. Like Loki, the god?
You are the genius that built the boats that changed our world.
Floki the carpenter. I will make something truly astonishing. I no longer know who I am. I have always believed in you. You are so wise, Floki. No. Now it's time to celebrate. So let's celebrate.
If you're still watching at this point, please drop your location in the comments so we can see how far this video has reached. You might get a shout out in our next upload, and don't forget to like and share Aster Polo TV. In a time when kings ruled with iron fists and warriors painted the world with blood, there was one man who didn't seek a throne or command an army. Yet his presence changed everything. He wasn't a ruler. He was something far stranger and far more powerful. His name was Floki, a builder of boats, a believer in the old gods, and a man who seemed to dance between genius and madness. Floki didn't chase power. What he wanted was something greater. He wanted answers from the gods. While others swung swords and claimed lands, Floki carved ships with his bare hands, whispering prayers into wood, hoping the gods would answer back. And one day, they did. Floki built a ship, but it wasn't just a vessel. It was the beginning of a legend. That very ship would carry his closest friend, Ragnar Lothbrok, across the sea to England. For the first time, the Vikings dared to cross into the unknown. And with that voyage, history changed forever. Ragnar and Floki weren't just friends. They were like twin souls. Where one dreamed, the other believed. To Floki, Ragnar wasn't just a warrior. He was chosen by the gods themselves. But then something happened that shook Floki to his core. Ragnar welcomed someone new into their circle, a monk named Athelstan, a Christian, a man of another faith. To Ragnar, Athelstan was a friend. To Floki, he was a threat. Floki feared what Athelstan represented: change, doubt, and the slow death of everything he held sacred. And when that fear became too much to bear, Floki acted. He killed Athelstan. Not out of hate, but out of a twisted kind of love, a desperate loyalty to the gods he worshipped. He truly believed he was saving Ragnar's soul. But instead, he broke it. Ragnar didn't scream. He didn't yell. He simply punished Floki with silence, locking him in a dark cave where water dripped like the slow tears of forgotten gods. There, alone in the shadows, Floki began to unravel. He cried. He spoke to spirits no one else could see, and somewhere in that darkness, something inside him cracked. Yet he lived on. Floki watched as Ragnar fell and his sons rose. He saw the world turn cold and unfamiliar, a new age of kings, armies, and ambitions, and through it all, he remained, a ghost of the old world. But when the violence became too much and the gods grew quiet, Floki made a choice no one expected. He left. Alone in a small boat, he set sail, not for glory, but for peace. Guided by visions and dreams, he sailed west, until he found it. A place untouched by war, untouched by kings. Iceland. To Floki, it was sacred, a blank page from the gods, a second chance to start fresh. He dreamed of building a world without power, without betrayal, a land where people could live as equals, with only faith to guide them. But even paradise has shadows. As settlers arrived, so did jealousy, greed, violence, the same poisons that haunted every land they'd left behind. Floki, the man who once built ships for legends, could now only watch as his dream crumbled into another nightmare. He wanted to build heaven on earth. Instead, he built another battleground. Worn out, lost, and unsure of what to believe anymore, Floki wandered into a cave, one last time, hoping for a sign from the gods. But what he found wasn't what he expected. A cross. a symbol of the very faith he had once fought against. The cave collapsed. The world went quiet. And for a time, Floki was gone. But his story didn't end there. Years later, after Ragnar's sons had scattered across the world, one of them, Ubbe, found himself in a distant land, far beyond the reach of Europe or Asgard. There, among native tribes and endless forests, he stumbled upon a face he thought he'd never see again. Floki, alive, older, weathered, but calm, like a storm that had finally passed. He wasn't building ships anymore. He wasn't preaching about the gods or chasing visions. He was simply at peace, living among the natives, embraced by a world untouched by Viking ambition or Christian conquest. Floki had found what he had searched for all his life. Stillness, acceptance, a place where belief didn't require blood. Ubbe looked into Floki's eyes and didn't see madness. He saw clarity. Floki the Boat Builder had traveled farther than any Viking, not just across seas, but through pain, through loss, through the collapse of everything he thought was true. And in the end, he found peace not in the gods or the myths, but in himself. He was never meant to be a king, but in many ways, Floki was more than any king ever was, because he reminded us, in a world built on war and ambition, that the soul of a people lies not in conquest, but in creation, faith, and the courage to walk away. If this story moved you, if Floki's journey still echoes in your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Drop a comment below and tell us, was Floki a prophet or just a madman? This is Aster Polo TV, where legends never die.
Yeah.